Señor Vaughan tiene la palabra por 2 minutos.
Thank you, Mr President. This is my first budget in this Parliament, and I have to say I have been very impressed by the consensus there has been, consensus around what the priorities of this Parliament are, and the consensus how we should protect those priorities. And thanks, of course, to everybody involved in that process. We have achieved a lot. We haven't achieved everything, but I am pleased we have achieved so much. In particular, I am pleased with the declarations on structural funds and cohesion policy, and I hope those declarations are remembered when we decide on the policy post 2013. But of course, difficult decisions do remain for this Parliament. Decisions on funding for the microfinancing facility, and I hope members will still regard that as a priority. On ensuring we find the funding for Cosla Dewey in the next 3 years, and of course finding funding for new priorities, priorities coming out of Copenhagen, priorities coming out of the consequences of the Lisbon Treaty and out of the new 2020 strategy we will be discussing next year. And we have to solve all of these problems knowing that margins are tight and knowing that the Council will be reluctant to provide extra funding. And that is why I believe a fundamental review of the budget in the future is absolutely essential. We should make sure that the budget in the future meets our priorities. I also believe we need to look at a new line, a new budget line for the Globalisation Fund, rather than take money from other lines all the time. I think we also need to make sure there is enough money in the flexibility instrument so we can respond and change our priorities. I believe the amount in there at the moment is not enough. I think if we can do all these things, I believe if we can do all these things, we will meet our priorities. And more importantly, we can show the citizens of Europe that this Parliament is relevant. Our budget should follow our priorities, but importantly should also follow the priorities of our citizens. I believe that is a key message for us as a Parliament, but also a key message for the Commission and for the Council.